Hey, good evening, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. Hey, everyone, join the chat. If you are watching the stream back, what's up, y'all? If you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I am so sorry. I had all intentions of being on camera today, but I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I am still in the newborn trenches, so my internet has been out all day. So yeah, I didn't have a good day. Anyway, in today's video, we are going to be catching up on Brandon Isabelle. If you guys did not know, he is a Tennessee guy who, back in 2022, unalived his baby mother and his 2-day-old baby, Kennedy. The mother's name was Danielle. This story was a major story that I covered on my channel. After this live, I will link all 3 videos in the comment section. So if you have missed them, you can go back and catch up. Before I get into the trial, I will just do a brief recap. So Brandon Isabelle, like I said, was from Tennessee. He is legally married to someone named Zendaya, I believe. Let me go ahead and put my phone on Do Not Disturb, y'all. He is legally married to someone. I cannot remember her name. I think it was Zendaya. He was working at FedEx during the time of 2021, technically. He was working at FedEx where he met someone named Danielle, and he also met someone named Artisha. All of these names matter, right? So while he was talking to Danielle, he was also talking to Artisha. Danielle was after they had so many rendezvous, she was the woman that got pregnant. But he actually allegedly wanted to be with Artisha, right? Meanwhile, he's still married. He's whole married, full blown, has a husband. Is a husband. And he also has a son, okay? So after Danielle got pregnant, Artisha and Brandon tried to pressure her into getting an abortion. Like, Artisha and Danielle argued a lot over Brandon. Why? I don't know. Was the peen dipped in gold? I am not sure. However, Danielle ends up giving birth on or around January 30th of 2022. Brandon is at the hospital when she delivers the baby. 2 days later, she goes home. In the wee hours of February 1st, 2022, Brandon meets up with Danielle, allegedly to give clothes. We'll break that down later. But he was allegedly meeting up with her to give her clothes. Whole time, he unalived her, allegedly took baby Kennedy, who was only 2 days old, and dumped her into the river. Till this day, they still have not recovered baby Kennedy. Danielle and her did have a joint funeral back in 2022. I also covered that, so I will link that video in the comments as well. Okay, so here we are, basically 3 years later. We are finally getting a trial for Brandon Isabelle. So it's the state of Tennessee versus Brandon Isabelle. They have been on trial for about 6 days so far, and today the state rested their case. A lot of what they do on these type of trials is like basically build a timeline, especially because there is no body for baby Kennedy. It's kind of hard to prove what he did to her, really where she is. Like, no one knows. And a backstory I also wanted to recap. In February, in February of 2022, there was a major freeze in Tennessee. Like, jobs were shut down, no one could go out. So that is another impeding part of why, if she was really allegedly tossed into the river, why they could not find her, because they had to stop search activity for her due to that major freeze. So trial started last Tuesday, and it went all the way on until Saturday, and then resumed today. On Tuesday, there was opening statements. On the opening statements, the prosecutors basically came in and said that Brandon, he was madly in love with Artisha. He wanted her real bad, real bad. And this baby was basically impeding on him getting Artisha. Brandon's defense is that he was coerced. So if you guys did not know, he did admit to, or he confessed to, one, pow-powing Danielle, and two, tossing baby Kennedy into the river. However, here we are today, 3 years later, and he's saying that he was coerced. All of this is going to come full circle because I will play some clips for you all. However, his defense team kept it short and sweet. They said basically they're going to have to prove this without a reasonable doubt that he actually committed such crimes. Now, he is on trial for second-degree murder, kidnapping, and aggravated child abuse. Danielle was only 27 years old. And like I said, Kennedy was only 2 days old. 2. The weird thing is in the during her labor, like as we learned during the trial, or as I learned during the trial, first of all, during her labor, she was in labor days before Brandon's birthday, y'all. Days before his birthday. And while they were in the hospital, while she was going through labor, he was actively texting Artesia. He was actively giving her play-by-play rundowns of what was going on. Like, yeah, she was at 5, now she's at 5.5 centimeters. And Artesia, which is allegedly the love of his life, not his wife, but his girlfriend, she's like, okay, is it your baby or not? Like, she was really pushing the DNA test. And little did we know that, so they did do a DNA test at the hospital. Y'all know he unalived that baby before the DNA test results came back. And that's going to play a part in today's acquittal request and why it was denied. So on the first day, they just had opening statements, and they just broke the information about how they found Danielle first. It was a trooper who, first of all, got the call about hearing pow pows. And then from there, they drove down this secluded road, and they found Danielle's body outside of her car with 5 pow pows to her body. 5, y'all, in the middle of the night. It was 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, on a cold February day, February 1st, in the middle of the night. The back seat was missing her baby. According to her mom, who also testified last week on day 3, she said how they only had 1 hour with baby Kennedy. How Danielle left because she told them that she had to go back to the hospital. And her mom later on said, like, she believes that Danielle told this story about having to go back to the hospital because she did not want them to know that she was really meeting up with Brandon. Brandon never told Artesia, who he was with, that he was actually meeting up with Danielle. He told her that he was meeting up with someone named Paul. And so him and Artesia was texting the whole entire time, y'all, before and after he unalived these 2 innocent people that he could have just left the hell alone, in my opinion. On day 3, after the mom testified, because her testimony was not really that long, she testified how they asked her, how Danielle was telling her that Artesia and Brandon was harassing her to get an abortion. And also on her body, the trooper that found Danielle, he seen on her watch a text when she was about 5 months pregnant, or they could have dated it back to around she was 5 months pregnant. Brandon was still asking her to get an abortion, y'all. Like, literally, at 5 months. Let it go, sir. But then Artesia testified. Artesia had to testify. Her testimony was a little shocking. She said how they all had to meet up at Danielle, or not Danielle's people's house, her cousin's house, because, or sorry, Brandon's people's house, because Danielle's family was saying that Danielle was missing, and she had all these firearms. Like, she had 2 firearms, I believe, and a machete, y'all. I was like, what? And she was saying how she brought it along with her because she didn't want, she was basically scared for her safety, and she wanted to protect herself. I think that this was an important part to bring up because the defense is trying to, in my opinion, insinuate that Artesia did this, y'all. Like they were asking if the bullets were checked and ran through her guns because she has the same guns that they said actually fired the bullets. And the what is it called? The expert was basically saying how this gun, the 9mm or nine, I don't even know my guns that much, but this gun that actually unalived Danielle is a very popular gun. Like it's one of the most common guns. So while she has this gun, it can't be the one that unalived Danielle because Brandon testified, or Brandon confessed to tossing it into the river after he tossed baby Kennedy. So Artesia also testified how she found out that he was married. He was not honest with her a lot, and how he was around her and her child, and how, she thought that there was going to be a family. And she did admit that her and Danielle argued a lot over Brandon. Again, I'm trying to figure out why. So fast forward, here we are. They played last week on Thursday and Friday. They start to play some of his confession tapes, and I'm gonna go ahead and share some of the clips so you guys can hear what he had to say. In one of his confessions, he was there for him and Artesia was there for a long time. They were in different rooms. Artesia was there for 8 hours. Brandon was interrogated for 10 hours. And one of the videos, he even said, like, my birthday tomorrow. I was just trying to, live my life. He did this. He committed this heinous act on the eve of his birthday. Remember, I told y'all she was in labor days before his birthday. And he actually committed this crime a day before his birthday. Like, how can you even do that? I am not sure. Um, Let me go ahead and share my screen really quickly. And actually, I'm going to start with the opening arguments, just so you guys can get a feel of actually what they were saying. Yeah, he was married to Haven. Yeah. No, his wife has not been on trial at all. She's not even of importance because he was trying to get a divorce or they were separated. She, in my understanding, and I could be wrong, I need to go back and watch my other videos about this, but his son, he has a son that's not even by his wife. Like that's also by another woman. And I'll play a video where they go over his text messages because in literally while Danielle was in labor, he was texting Artesia, calling her Artesia, whatever her middle name is, Isabelle, like basically insinuating that she will have his last name one day. He wants to get married. He's madly in love with her. Like all that he wanted, he wanted all things Artesia. Yeah, it was a lot to him. Let me go ahead and make sure y'all can share my screen. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and mute and share y'all exactly what happened during, or show y'all the opening arguments.
It was the morning of February 2nd, 2022. Cold, bleak. Mud Island, where the Wolf River meets the Mississippi, was colorless. Shades of gray and brown, except for a small baby cat, so out of place, lying on the riverbank. The only indication of what the defendant, Brandon Isabelle, did mere hours earlier. Danielle Hoyle was 27 years old, and she worked at FedEx. That's where she met the defendant, a meeting that would change the course of her life and so many others forever. They had a brief sexual relationship, and Danielle got pregnant with Kennedy. The defendant then started dating another woman, Artesia Stewart. She also worked at FedEx. To the defendant, she was the perfect woman. He wanted to be with Artesia, and he'd do anything to keep her. Late the night of January 30th of 2022, the defendant received word that Danielle was in labor at Regional 1. He went to the hospital, and during those late night hours and early morning hours, he was texting Artesia. Their relationship had been on the rocks for a while. Artesia didn't want to deal with another child or another baby mama in the mix. And so they were going back and forth. Artesia was talking about ending things, breaking up, and the defendant was trying to convince her to stick with the relationship. In the midst of these text messages, in the wee hours of January 31st, 2022, baby Kennedy Caitlin Hoyle, was born. Later that morning, the defendant met up with Artesia at Mud Island by the river to talk about the relationship, and nothing was resolved. Fast forward to February 1st of 2022. Danielle's released from the hospital with her precious newborn daughter, Kennedy. She takes the baby home to meet her family, and her mother, April Campbell, gets to spend one precious hour with Kennedy. She didn't know that that was the only time she would get to spend with her granddaughter, and the last time that she would see her daughter, Danielle, alive. Danielle left that night in her Chevy Cruze. She had Kennedy in her car seat in the back seat, and she was going to meet the defendant. He said that he had baby clothes for her, and so they met at a Matco on Brooks and Elvis Presley. Somehow, the defendant convinced Danielle to drive down Sedgwick Road where it meets Levi, a desolate, deserted, dark road. Danielle pulled to the side of the road, parked the wrong way. The defendant exited his vehicle, opened the passenger door, and fired 5 shots into Danielle's car, striking her in the face and the head. He dragged her body from the car, leaving her face down in a ditch, so dark that all that could be seen were Danielle's bright pink shoes. He took Kennedy in her car seat from Danielle's car, put her in his Chevy Malibu, and drove away from the scene, leaving Danielle face down, blood gushing from her head in the muddy rainwater. For a while, the defendant drove around with little Kennedy. He eventually made his way back to 8072 Lathbury in Cordova, which is where he lived with his parents. He went inside the house, changed clothes, put his Adidas slides in the trunk of his car, and got back in the Chevy Malibu. Kennedy was still in the car, not even 2 days old. He had one more problem to take care of. He drove to Mud Island. Real-time crime center cameras show his car going up and down, Island Drive, until he finally stops at the old boat ramp where the mouth of the Wolf River and the Mississippi meet. He took Kennedy from her car seat, grabbed her by the leg, and threw her into the cold, dark water, not realizing that her little baby cap had fallen from her head and lay resting on the riverbank. He got back into his car, and during this night, he's still texting with Artesia. And his phone, the GPS is on, and it's tracking everywhere he goes. A silent witness to a murderous night. He continues on to Walgreens, where he buys gifts for Artesia. He sits in the parking lot, and he texts Danielle, asking about the baby, knowing that she'll never answer. To cover his tracks. Meanwhile, Officer Cody Sutton with the Memphis Police Department is on routine patrol. He's out of the Rains precinct, patrolling South Memphis, and he drives down Sedgwick Road. He knows the area. It's an area that commonly stolen cars are left. And so when he pulls up, he doesn't think anything of it. He sees a Chevy Cruze parked on the wrong side of the road. It looks like it has a shattered window, so he runs the tag. It's dark and raining. And the tag comes back to Danielle Hoyle. So he sends officers to Danielle's home, thinking they're investigating a stolen vehicle. When they arrive, Danielle's not there. They encounter her mother, April Campbell. April informs the officers that Danielle left earlier that night to see her baby's father, that she had a newborn with her, and they hadn't heard from her and didn't know where she was. Meanwhile, Officer Sutton is still on the scene at Sedgwick. He gets out of his vehicle to take a closer look, and he finds the gruesome discovery of Danielle's body. Now, at this point, the Memphis Police Department is starting to realize the gravity of missing Kennedy. Officer Sutton looked around. He found no baby. He found no car seat. Just a bag, a baby bag, with the name Kennedy in the Chevy Cruze to show that she was ever there. A city watch goes out. While this is starting to happen, the defendant has another stop to make. He drives to Walmart on Elvis Presley. He then pulls to the back of the Walmart and drops Kennedy's car seat next to a lot dumpster. And that car seat is later found by a Good Samaritan and Officer Robert Blake. He's still texting with Artesia. She finally relents and says he can come over. He beats her home to 5061 Stacy Road. She pulls up in her Kia Soul, and she can't even make it in her door before the defendant is jumping into her car, telling her that they need to leave. Danielle's family is out looking for him. They want to know where Danielle and the baby are. So Artesia drives him back to 8072 Lackberry in Cordova. That's where the defendant and Artesia Stewart are detained by the Memphis Police Department. Sergeants Wimbush and Boyd, with homicide, began to question the defendant. And through that questioning, it becomes apparent that they need to go to Mud Island. And so a frantic search begins for baby Kennedy on Mud Island. The Braden Dive Team, with divers Hunter Winfrey and Kyle Borland. The Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, with Agent Andy Tweed. Numerous MPD officers on the ground, air support, a helicopter, a drone, looking for baby Kennedy. But they didn't find her. All they found was that baby cat on the riverbank. As Sergeant Boyd and Wimbush continued to speak with the defendant, more information came to light. Sergeant Fowler and Officer Cole went to 5061 Stacy Road, Artesia Stewart's home. That's where the defendant had left his car, the white Chevy Malibu. They searched the car, and in the trunk of the vehicle, they found the Adidas slides that the defendant was wearing. Officer Carlisle took the clothing that the defendant was in when he was taken into custody. And he noticed that the defendant was wearing a pair of white socks with what looked to be blood on them. Officer Carlisle, the crime scene, processed both the Adidas slides and those white socks and used a presumptive test, which indicated blood. Those two items were then sent to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation for DNA testing. Agent Stephen Walzak did the testing on those items and determined that the blood on the socks and the Adidas slides belonged to Danielle Hoyle. Ladies and gentlemen, once you've heard all the proof in this case, the witness accounts, the DNA, the video, once you have heard all the evidence, the state will ask that you find the defendant guilty of each in every count of the indictment.
Does the defense wish to make an opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor. Come back to center with me first. We talked in board about how the state made the allegations, and they have. They did it through an indictment, and they did it through their opening statement. Now, it is up to them, the burden is on them to prove these allegations. To prove these allegations beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, we also talked about how you can't know for sure if truth is being told to you. And that's understandable. Truth rings like a bell on a clear day. Truth does not lend itself to interpretations. Different scenarios, different interpretations. Beyond a reasonable doubt is like the same thing. If there are two reasonable, supported by the evidence interpretations, at the end of this proof, and both are reasonable, the verdict must be not guilty. Asking to hold the state to that burden of proof. Thank you.
So as you guys heard, the prosecution broke it all the way down. The defense, baby, he said what he said. You just gotta know if someone's lying or not and prove it without a reasonable doubt. The shocking thing about how like cold-hearted this guy was and how this could have all been avoided was the fact that like even while Danielle was in labor and had just given birth, while he was texting Artisha was like, "Oh, what's the baby's name? How much does she weigh?" And she even allegedly had made a post like, "There you go, congratulations, I'm done with you," basically. And that was weird to me. She was like, "Does she have your name?" Like basically, like what will her last name be? And on the obituary for baby Kendi, they identified her as Kendi Hoyle. And it's just so sad because all of this could have been avoided. Like he was literally, he said he didn't want to break down in the hospital with Danielle over Artisha breaking up with him. Like he was so emotional about that girl. You would have thought they had known each other for so long and they really had not. Let me go ahead and play you guys his confession. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead. Yes, he did. He confessed to it. So I'm about to go ahead and play what he confessed to, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more. Well, I'll go ahead and show some of the text messages, and then I will play you guys what his defense team tried to do today as far as his acquittal, because the state did rest their case today. So they're almost at the end. They are waiting to see if Brandon's going to testify tomorrow. Yeah, Danielle and Artisha did have words. Those did not get played unless I missed it, because a lot of it I did miss as far as them showing evidence because I was working, but I don't believe that they showed Danielle and Artisha's text messages. I think Artisha just commented on them when asked, but I will go ahead and double check. If they did, I will share that as well.
Now let's get you into that courtroom. This is in Tennessee.
Depends on how people are going to see. It's obvious. Let me explain something to you, okay? And I'm gonna put this in a way for you to understand, okay? Right now, your future depends on how people are gonna see you from here on out, right? That's not true. And let me explain it to you, okay? Let me explain something to you. Listen to me, Brandon, okay? Let me explain this to you, okay? Have you gone out drinking, like to the club, stuff like that before? Have you been out before? I don't drink this stuff, so okay, but you've been out. You've been around people like in the crowd and stuff before, right? Okay. Let me explain to you this, okay? And this is how this works when it comes to people seeing you, okay? You see this ball, right? Now, let's say that you're holding this ball, and you got your favorite drink in there, right? You stand in the crowd. Now, somebody bumps into you and knocks their drink down, right? Now, there's one or two things that can happen. The guy who knocks their drink down, he can say, damn, my bad, man, I was having a bad day, I was having a bad moment, I'm sorry I knocked this drink out of your hand. I know it's your favorite drink, I fucked up, my bad, right? Or, that same guy can bump into you and walk, right? Which one of those people look the worst? Now, I'm gonna ask you something. Which one?
By the way, this when you guys hear the muting, that's what they're doing in court. The audio sounds really bad. So I will explain. Like right now, the detective, which we will hear from today, or we heard from today, he knows that Brandon is lying. So he's like, Brandon, do you want to look better like to your friends and family and everybody else by just telling what really happened versus everyone finding out you're a monster? This all makes sense of why he is saying that he was coerced into a false confession, because he's basically saying like he was not able to leave this room. They kept calling him things and even threatened him. So this is the video or the audio of that.
People you think you look like right now. Now, with that being said, keep that in mind, Brandon. You already told us everything else. You understand what I'm telling you? Just tell us the truth about the baby. Just tell us what you did. You put her in the room? Okay, did you watch her going to the water? Brandon. Things are slightly hard push. Brandon, let me tell you something, okay? You had to walk on the rocks and get down to the water edge, didn't you? I think I was back to the force and with it. I didn't walk all the way to it. Let me tell you something, Brandon. Those rocks are boulders. You have to navigate through those on the walk. Tell me several times that you should have down there. Physically impossible. Physically impossible. It's physically impossible to slide down there.
So the audio is hard to hear, but right now they don't need that he had already confessed to Pow Pow and Danielle. Right now the detective is like hounding him or trying to get information on baby Kennedy. And he basically is saying, or Brandon was trying to at first say that he slightly pushed baby Kennedy into the water inside the car seat. And he then admits to, of course, tossing her in the water because, as you guys hear, the detective's like, no, there's a lot of rocks. Like, listen to me. We ain't going for this. Like, it's boulders down there. You need to tell us exactly what happened. And all of this makes sense because police already knew exactly, not exactly what happened, but they already had an idea of what happened. Little did we know during this time, Artisha was in another room, and this same detective actually thought Artisha did it, y'all. Like, he testified that today. He was like, I believe that she did it until her alibi checked out that she was at her cousin's house. So at this time, they're like, just tell us what happened. Just tell us what happened. But in the back of this detective's mind, he low-key thought it was Artisha that did it. So he was actually cordial to Brandon for a while. Again, he was there for 10 hours. So a lot transpired. They said that he slept a lot. They would ask him if he needed to go to the restroom, but he was just in there looking stone cold. So that's just a little brief of what he said he did. He immediately said, listen, he was, as y'all heard, him and Artisha was apprehended hours after they found Danielle. So no one knew that Danielle was pow-powed, right? So in his confession or in his interrogation, he immediately said that she was pow-powed. How would he know that if he was coerced? And as far as baby Kennedy, yes, his story did change. He tried to say that he pushed her in the car seat, but in my opinion, he could have been he said that because he tossed the car seat in the parking lot of Walmart in front of the dumpster. So he was trying to throw them off. But the fact that we've never found baby Kendi, he definitely put her in that water.
What is your opportunity? This is your opportunity, Brandon. She was alone. Did you put her in the water, Brandon? I didn't place her in the water. How did she get into the water? She was along the river line. She was by the water. She wasn't. But you swimming right in the on the water. Let me read that question. Did you know who did the rock? I walked over the rock. I walked the river line. Okay, so you got it close enough to the water, right? That you got it close enough that if you push, there's a little push she was gonna go in. Is that what you're saying? So you pushed her in the water. She was placed along the river line. She was Brandon. And she was touching the water until you did what? Brandon. It's like, so you put it in the restaurant. I walked over here right there on the river line. Yeah, I do that. I walked into the bush, Brandon. And then placed her in Brandon water. Brandon. Then the river rose that much in the clubhouse. Yeah. Anyway, now, I'm gonna tell you right now, what you telling me right now, you telling me that you did it, but you did a dick hole about it. You understand what I'm saying? So start it out. You know, what would you do? Place it down in my water. Did you place it in the water, Brandon? Did you place it in the water? Brandon, did you place her in the water? Brandon, you want to know one thing about that park? My father used to take us to that park, and we used to run our dog down there. Over the glasses, so I do too. I have all my life. I got my contact lenses right now. I swear to God. I give you. You started off with a lie, right? You started off lying. So you don't want to just look like a complete liar. So you want to make us feel like all what you told us is the truth. But none of what you told us is the truth. You have started telling the truth. Complete the circle, Brad. Complete 99% of the truth still there. No, 99% of the truth still a lie. Right, so 100% is a lie. The truth is the truth, and that's got to be 100%. If you leave out one portion, you're lying. How did she get in the water? How did she get in the water? How did she get in? Who put her in the water, Brandon? You put her in the water. Okay. Did you put her in the water or did you toss her into the water? So he tossed her into the water. Did she float away or did she sink? So we're looking at the report. Did she come out of that seat? So you threw her in the water. You threw her in the water. So you don't know where she or the seat went, do you?
Okay, so that's all that I wanted to play about the interrogation, because a lot of the audio was really hard to hear. But I wanted to play that part where you heard the guy like, who tossed them in the water, who, because he was saying who, because he believed Artisha did it, y'all, and because they did meet up at their spot in mud water or whatever. So that's the defense's theory to go off of, like, she went over there and she was plotting this, or she was so mad she did what she had to do, because her and Danielle was always arguing over him. He had no control over that. He had no idea what was going on. Whole time he did it. And then the part where you heard the other detective say, you tossed her. The defense is saying basically they put words in his mouth. So I'm going to fast forward to some text messages so you guys can see just how they were talking to each other during the labor and delivery. How Artisha and Brandon was talking during Danielle being in labor. He was at the hospital. Let me go ahead and... Okay, let me first show the text between Brandon and Danielle, because remember how I told you, T Haven, they did not actually go on about Artisha and Danielle's text, but they did discuss Brandon and Danielle's.
After I had my kids, I hit a wall I'd never encountered before.
State of Tennessee, please call your next witness.
Thank you, Judge. The state calls Sergeant Jeremy Klein.
Sergeant Klein, come forward. Watch your step. Stand right here, face your honor, raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
Have a seat, watch your step. Sergeant Klein, speak up for me.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. If you could state your name and spell it for the jury and court.
Sergeant Jeremy Klein, Jeramy, last name Cline.
All right, I see you're carrying a gun. Where do you work?
I work for Memphis Police Department in the Homicide Bureau.
Were you assigned to homicide back on February 2nd of 2022?
I was.
And do you recall homicide involving Danielle, Hoyle, and Kennedy?
That's correct.
Did you get assigned some tasks on that particular case?
Yeah, my original task was to meet with April Hoyle at their house and kind of get as much information I can about Danielle's movements. However, when I arrived there, she wasn't there. She had changed locations over to Rain Station Precinct, and that's where I ended up meeting with April Hoyle.
And did you have to deliver the news to her or deliver some bad news to her?
I did. I basically told her that we found her daughter's vehicle and that we had found a female that had been killed outside the vehicle. At that moment, we didn't know if it was Danielle or not, just because the identity hadn't been known to us. But I did inform Miss April that we were investigating a homicide.
Did you also look into an Apple Watch?
I did. At some point in time, we did return back over to April's house where Danielle's Apple Watch was at. April was able to give me the Apple Watch and give me the passcode to the Apple Watch. So we brought it back to the precinct and started going through some of the past messages that was inside the watch.
And you were looking for things relevant to potential homicide or disappearance of a child?
That's correct.
Were you able to find some things that were relevant or a text that was relevant?
I did. I found a text that came in on February the 1st from a contact that was listed by Brandon. In that text, they were talking about the child, Kennedy, is what it seemed like. And Brandon's basically saying that he needed to be a father to his own child and was asking for the candidate to be aborted. And this was like a screenshot of a message that she had.
I'm gonna pass forward some photographs for the record. This defense has viewed those, and those are kind of in order. You recognize the photograph?
I do.
What do you recognize those to be?
This is a photograph of the Apple Watch that I looked through.
And there's 3 of them, because we had to take 3 to get the whole message. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Your Honor, if we could have this marked as the next exhibit, it's a collective.
Collective exhibit number 13. And this is 3 photos.
Yeah, if we could
Go ahead, please.
post those. I'll put the first one up so I can climb. Make that possible to zoom in on that a little bit. If you could read this for me.
It says, I can't be a father to the kid right now, Danielle, and I don't want to put you through that. I have to be a father to my first child. I haven't been doing that. I don't want you to go through what you're going through with Raya Dad not being around twice. You deserve better than what I've been doing to you. If you love me like you say you do, then let's end this mistake, Danielle. Let's talk to these doctors tomorrow, and let's both hear them and have them understand where we're coming from. I gotta sit.
And
Yeah.
we have the next one here. We can zoom in on that. I think you stopped it. I gotta sit.
Yeah, I'm looking for it now. Like, I gotta sit back and find myself with no distractions. Like, for real. I gotta find me.
Third, if you could just go to the third one, I think it has. There we go.
Yeah. It says, Brandon, bye. Just stop texting me and go about your business. I don't need you and talking to them. They still not going to do it. I'm going on 5 months now.
All right. And Sergeant Klein said the only things that you could find that were relevant within the Apple Watch.
Yes, sir.
Did you consider or think about trying to, download or dump the entirety of the watch?
So yeah, he was trying to gaslight her, like, oh, I need to be a father because, like I said, he has a son. I need to be a father to my first child. I don't want to put you through that because if you did not know, Danielle leaves behind at the time, an 8-year-old daughter named Jariah. So Jariah didn't even get to be a big sister, didn't even get to know her mom. Her mom will never see her grow up and have her own children, like just straight robbed. And it's unfortunate because he tried to gaslight her, like, oh, I don't want to have you go through this twice, like with Raya's dad. Like, boy, bye. You have a wife, you got 2 girlfriends. I mean, all this at FedEx. Like, calm down, please. Change, boom, sir. Like, just a monster, and very immature. Danielle was the oldest. So now, yeah, she was the oldest out of all of them. Now I'm trying to find the condensed version of their text from today, Artisha and Brandon. Because like I said, they were texting the whole time she was in the hospital. Danielle was in the hospital. And it was very strange, if you ask me. I can just start over today's trial because I remember what time it started. 1 second. Okay. I'm almost there, y'all. Sorry if y'all hear my baby. She is literally a nurse, so she is on my lap going to town. Like, girl, please. Okay. Lunch break. Okay, here we go.
Messages that were retrieved from Brandon Isabelle's phone.
Yes.
You also already indicated that you had GPS coordinates as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get you, if you could, to read the defendant's text, and I'll read the text from, I guess it's Miss Stewart. And we're starting, I'm gonna read all of them, but we're starting on page 1 through 47. Just let me know when you're ready. Okay.
All right. Okay.
You ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. What is so everybody knows, the green text or what, or from who?
Green text are from Brandon,
Okay. And then we see a little bit of blue, and then the blue ones are gonna be from who?
Artesia.
And do each of these text messages show, when they were sent, the date, the time, and all that?
Yes.
Do they also have read times on them when they were read?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you can start.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the hospital.
And that's, I'm not gonna do this for everyone, but just to get us started, when is that sent?
11:49 p.m.
On January 30th?
January 30th, 2022.
Response. Why? She in labor?
She said she 5 centimeters at first. Now she's saying she 5.5.
Oh, good luck. Congrats.
Don't be like that, baby.
I'm sleepy as hell, I think.
Yeah. I love you.
I love you. What does that mean?
Well, that's when she highlights that text message, but it's just putting a heart on the text message, not actually responding.
Okay.
Baby, say it back.
Love, baby, say it back. Phone finna die, I left my charger.
You text that, but can't say you love me back.
Get there safely.
Wow.
Good night.
You doing this to me in a time like this?
Tell her to have a safe delivery. I'll talk to you when y'all get the results.
Wow. I can't even get I love you too, baby text back. Wow.
Like, I'll talk to you when you get all the results. Let me know the results. My stomach hurts, so the relationship at stake. And NDN, never mind.
What you mean at stake?
Nothing get there. I'm fitting to go MIA though.
Nah, what you mean at stake? Do you want this or no? Do you want to be with me or no?
No, I think she finna be in the way. Good night though.
She not, bro. So all of what I've been doing, trying to show you I want you, all this crying, these promises, and knowing for the past 6 months this day was coming, you wait until now. You crushed me and my heart completely.
She's gonna fix it. You're gonna be okay. I just think we need to be desperate at a time like this.
Yes, Artesia was allegedly pregnant as well, and she did get an AB. And if y'all heard in this was shocking. These text messages opened my eyes to it, because when I say he was obsessed with her, I came to that conclusion after this part, y'all. On day 6, y'all heard her say she's in the way now. Like, my heart hurts. Like, the things, and I'm not saying this is okay. I'm just saying that this is the stuff, in my opinion, that made a crazy person do a crazy thing. He like, I'm trying to prove to you what this is. I'm trying to prove to you that, I love you. All the tears. I guess he was crying, literally. He referenced tears multiple times. But she was a willing participant, because at one point she did allegedly threaten Danielle as well, threatened to unalive her as well. So all this is like, I'm not saying that Artesia wanted Danielle to be unalive, because I don't know that. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is Artesia was very well aware that Brandon well, she was very well aware that that Brandon and her felt like Danielle was in the way. Let's put it like that. So she knew exactly what she was doing, in my opinion. Did she think that it was going to go this far? And I hope she was thinking like, oh, if I just say this, he'll be a deadbeat. Maybe that's what she thought. But just continue to listen to this, because it's really weird. Like, as a woman, do better. Do better. I just it was weird.
Separate, and she corrects that with separate.
No, she is not. I know what my heart is, like the world does. My mom even said it tonight.
Like, we together, but we just need space. But good night, safe delivery, phone on 1%.
I want you, Artesia. You my wife.
Okay.
And I'm gonna explain this to her again.
Don't. What y'all do is y'all's business. I honestly don't even care.
Why not? It ain't nothing going on. Wow, my heart is literally broke. Well, I'm finna cry myself to this hospital once again, like I did yesterday. Today was good for me because I felt secure. I felt I had my heart back, my love back. I guess not. Okay, baby, Artesia.
I'm not gonna know everything. Just like y'all meeting up, discussing names.
Never met up. It was over text at work because I asked her what she's naming it.
It's more to it, and I'd just rather relax my heart and not put the care into it. Y'all done that. I don't want to explain. I don't want to explain it. And yes, you cried, but shit happens.
I don't see her. Plus, that was 5 months ago.
Just get there safely.
And it ain't nothing more to nothing, bro. What you mean?
I don't want to talk about it. Y'all just need to be. I just need to be by myself for a minute. This will be the best thing to do. Be together in separate places. But yeah, attend to them. I gotta find me some to get my mind off this situation.
You got the passcode to my phone. I have nothing to hide. What I'm telling you is true.
I don't want to get into your phone, man.
Ain't nothing in here for me to hide. I'm trying to prove my love to you in so many ways. You just don't understand. Even told you I chose you over my wife in her face.
Don't worry about them right now. I'm going to find me something to do tonight.
Find something like what?
I don't know.
Somebody else?
Don't worry, just get there for baby girl. I'm gonna be all right.
Question somebody else. That means he touched that message and marked it with the question mark.
Now, you want it to be?
No, I don't want it to be nobody else.
Okay then.
That's how you made it sound.
Anyways, good night though. I'm sleepy for real, for real.
They not even letting me in.
Tell them she having her baby, dude.
I did.
Well, I don't know then.
They saying it's somebody back there with her already, and I gotta come back at 8 a.m.
My phone's bugging up. I'm going to cut it off. I'll cut it back on in a minute.
Wow, okay.
And she like, wow, okay.
Okay, good night.
Like, okay, good night.
I'm trying. As I sit here listening to these nurses, I get teary-eyed. I'm sorry, Artesia. I'm sorry I let you down. If I could take it back, I would, Artesia. I'm truly sorry. You all I'm thinking about, baby, because I really love you and really want to be with you for the rest of my life. I pray our lives can fall in place permanently and be good and peaceful and healthy. I love you, baby.
What time is this text delivered?
January 31st, 2022 at 1:23 a.m.
And when was baby Kennedy born?
I have to review my notes.
It's okay. We'll. LOL. Okay.
Wow, that's all you have to say?
What time is it now?
January 31st, it's gonna be at 1:27 a.m. Yeah, I think you're done with me, and my intentions are pure.
Look, worry about what's going on up there. I'm trying to get some sleep. What time did she send that one?
It's at 1:29 a.m., January 31st.
Have a good night.
They're not doing much. And how you trying to go to sleep and you on social media? Well, okay, talk to me whenever. If I'm your boyfriend still, like you say I am, and you still in love with me, like you say you are, I hope you don't step out on me or give anybody else a chance to take my spot, because I promise I'm worth it. Just let me show you. But I'm still your boyfriend. I'll just trust you to hit me up whenever you feel. Hopefully we can continue to grow. Good night. Yeah, he actually appears that he loved the text from her. Says, oh, I do too. I actually do want to talk to her though, on a serious level. I just get in my way sometimes, but I'm gonna wait till y'all take the DNA. I feel you need to do it when she's born. Well, she's here. If you cared, I don't know if you do or not. I'm waiting for them to take DNA tests so I can know before I sign anything.
Sign it, it's yours. Glad you made it safely.
It's killing, huh?
I'm gonna make this simple. If it's yours, build that bond. Get to know her as a woman because she loves you as well. I won't need no response. Silence will answer that for me. If it's not, we still need space to take this relationship slow.
I really want to say this to your fucking face. No emojis needed this time. Look, I fucking love you, Artesia Lachey Isabelle. I love you and only you. You mean the world to me, baby. I want to say this to your face. No tears needed, because I want you to understand where this is coming from, my heart. This makes me look at women different. When I got with you and we found out about this situation, I know it makes you look dumb to the world for being with the dude with the baby on the way. But I heard the same thing from people when you were pregnant. People saying it was my baby. How do I feel? Why am I with somebody else's baby mama having sex, etc.? But I tuned it out because I knew what I wanted eventually. It may have took me a long time to make the move, but that's only because I know how my heart is, as you have clearly seen twice. When I love hard, and it breaks me down to let somebody, that's why world leave me. I envisioned it being us five together, like I've talked to Denisha about. Kingston being the oldest and the brother to protect his two little sisters. Me and Kingston being the men of the house to protect our three queens.
Really quick, Denisha is his son's mother. I could not figure out her name. It's Denisha. But I'll continue. I'll talk about the rest later. But that's who he's referring to. That's his Kingston's mother, Denisha.
Me and Kingston will forever have y'all. I will continue to teach him to be a gentleman, hold doors for women, who walks on what side of the sidewalk, etc. Us five, nothing can defeat us. I have either full custody of Kingston or joint, so it won't be any he can't come around. She'll have to deal with it how I have, but that's nothing I have to explain to her if I have my son because of court rights. And Danielle, time will tell, but if you're willing to talk to her like you say you are, then maybe that'll be a good start to something special for the baby. I would say talk to Danielle. She might be reasonable. Zaria, I wouldn't advise anybody to talk to her. The bitch dumb. But as I sat there, I thought about all of this. I would want somebody by my side to be a great stepmom and an even greater mother. I love when Kingston smiles at you and plays with you. It warms my heart. My dad even asked me that before. You like that, don't you? I said yes. I hope you can look at the baby like that. I want to be able to call you later down the line while I'm at work to check on and you say, oh, nothing, baby. Me and the girls just out shopping. Or me and the kids ran to Walmart or something. I want to see Aaliyah having a sister step to eventually play with, to talk to hang with in later years. All these things are what I want, and why not want them with the love of my life? You are where my heart is. You are home. You don't have to respond. I know your mind is everywhere, baby. I understand. Just continue to read over this and know this is real as fuck. I'll give you your time again. I love you. Good night.
Just take care of your children, Brandon. Don't want to look any dumber. I got my answer. I don't hate you, but that's the man you are. And I thank you for this journey. I pray for this. And it gets worse. And it gets worse and worse for a reason. Love isn't my best favor. The men I meet, I just hope everything works out for y'all. P.S. She is a good woman. She can help you through a lot. Just give her a chance for me. My last message.
What you mean the man I am? What's that?
We knew all this time. But can you please leave me alone?
Knew what?
Brandon, please leave me alone.
Wow, okay.
Like, wow, okay. How many pounds? What's her full name? This will be my actual last message.
7 even. But you said leave you alone. You blocked me again. I don't know what's up, but okay. I'm not finna break down in this hospital. At home later, yeah.
What her full name? Answer my question. Never mind. What's Danielle's last name?
Hoyle. You get mad, but you telling me to leave you alone. I don't wanna and probably not gonna because it's a process, but you confusing me.
I tagged y'all. Congrats. I'm not mad, more so hurt, but I knew it'd be I knew I'd be the dumb one, LOL. I'm gonna take this as a sign to go on. You honestly don't have to worry about me anymore. I'm gonna be all right. Must not be meant for us to be together.
I know you hurt, and you're not the dumb one, and it's not a sign. Delete that post until I take my DNA test. And still even, then don't post nothing like that.
I'm keeping it up. It's yours. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Okay.
This is the worst I've been through in my entire life. I don't want to love just me and my kid.
Me too. It's the worst I've acted over a female. Never wanted somebody so bad. You knew this day was coming. Why wait until now and all this love and time?
I want to get close to nobody, just not ever. You're the biggest lesson in my love history. And don't regret you. I just wish you were raised in a better home. I don't know. I was blinded. It's not mine. It's not mine. But now she's here. Y'all there as a family, and y'all got y'all results. And I don't know what TGATS means. All she wanted, I just wish you were telling the truth, not possibilities, because it was 100% all along. No if. Then you give me the relationship, because I'm so dumb to fight for it, sitting up here really going through this. I just hate it with me. I'm too pretty for this, too smart, so loving, so willing, so pure. I'm glad you didn't break me to crack no tears, because I've been prepping myself for this day.
Don't got no results yet, so what you mean? And when this hospital stuff over with, ain't no family time. It's co-parenting. And I was telling the truth, so what you mean? I'm finna show you. And yes, you are all of that and then some. Trust me, I know. And prep for what day? Wow.
Okay, now you can move to page 65.
So that was the end of them talking at the actual hospital. When they jump to page 65, it's when they are talking about meeting up, and the whole time he's on his way to unalive Danielle and the baby. But I just wanted to show that text exchange because, yeah, like you said, Brina, she was mad the whole time he was at this hospital. But low key, she knew that he was the dad. Like there was nothing. There was no question. Like he could have easily said, "Oh, it's not mine. It's not mine." Girl, you knew because her and Artisha and Danielle was going back and forth. If y'all go back to my previous lives, Artisha did an interview with the cussing pastor, and I did a reaction to it. R.I.P. to the cussing pastor. But anyway, she talked about how they went back and forth. They was full blown fighting over this man. Like he was the only man on earth. So yeah, she knew what was up. I feel like she was just mad because in her head they up there as a family, and she's so embarrassed. Girl, you loved him 2 hours before he went to the hospital. So what's the difference? Take it. All that dramatic stuff. Oh, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. Good night. I'm turning my phone off. She was antagonizing him. He's a grown ass man, but if y'all heard, he kept talking about crying. Why are you crying? Like, what is wrong with you? You're not normal. Well, we know he's not normal, but she ain't normal either. And I don't feel like she gets a pass during this. I'm gonna just be honest. I said that then and I say it now. Like, as a mother, as a woman, you're talking out of both sides of your neck. Oh, just be a good man. She's a good woman. She deserves that. But then at the same time saying, oh, I'm done. My heart's so broken. Boy, girl, get your ass on. During the trial, she was only on stand for about less than 2 hours, and she didn't really show no emotion, and Brandon didn't really show any emotion either. The only time he showed emotion was when they showed Kennedy's car seat. He did shed a tear. That was the only emotion he's shown the whole time. And I know, like, you're not supposed to show emotion when you're on trial, so maybe that's why, but The way he talking in these text messages, like, oh, I'm gonna save my tears for when I get home, you would have thought that he just a boohoo crybaby. But yeah, so like I said, the state has rested their case. Now the defense team is just trying to prove that he was coerced. So for the final part of this live, and then I'll discuss more on on another video. He when he was being interrogated by the detective said to him, "You're going to be fighting off peen. You're going to be fighting off penis if you don't tell the truth." The defense team is trying to say that that is a threat. Like, that's the threat that you gave them, that you gave Brandon, and that's why he started to corroborate with whatever you said. So now, lastly, on the stand, where we left off today on trial, the defense is their part of the case now. And they had a expert witness on the stand talking about how coercion happens and how based off of what Brandon was testifying, it showed that he was being coerced. And the prosecution came up there and ate that man up. The man could not sit still. The man could not stop fidgeting because it didn't really make sense. Brandon was not coerced. Brandon literally said out his own mouth, his birthday is tomorrow. He's trying to enjoy his birthday and live his life. The man was only worried about losing Artesia. That's in my opinion. Do I think that he wanted to be a father? Yeah. Like, I do feel like if Artesia was not saying what she was saying in the hospital and just said okay, or maybe just ignored him, maybe I'm not a mind reader. I can't tell the future, but I do feel like Danielle and her baby will probably still be here, because why was he at the hospital? If he didn't want nothing to do with the baby, he didn't have to go to the hospital. A part of me feels like he did want something to do with the baby. He did want to be a father. But he's selfish. He's immature. Something's not right mentally, and he did a heinous thing off the back of a woman. And it's like, boy, you will never, ever, ever make it far doing something off the back of somebody else or trying to get somebody to be with you. And it's not that serious. It's not that serious. Like, I don't know. But those text messages really did prove to me that he made a rush. Well, and I don't even want to say rush, because he drove up and down the street. And it's like, after he unalived Danielle, I don't know what he probably was thinking. It will be interesting to see if he testifies. A part of me hope he does, but I don't think he will. Like, testifying is kind of like, boy, you're not going to get far. But yeah, y'all, if y'all want to go back, watch my other lives on this. I'm going to continue to watch the trial, and then we'll do another recap later. I hope y'all have a good night. Bye, y'all.